following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
First down, handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
And we are here getting you set for a divisional playoff matchup that is now fast approaching at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum on Saturday night, 7:15 Dallas time, 5:15 on the left coast, the Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. We're awaiting the arrival of Mickey Spagnola as usual, the grand arrival of Mickey. We got Brian Broaddus here. We've got Rob Phillips here. And this is really our last installment of Talking Cowboys as it is for this week because it's travel day on Friday. Mickey and Rob will be aboard that Cowboys charter. Now, Brian will be along tomorrow to bring us some stuff on Friday.
Yeah, 11 a.m. We've got myself, Nate Newton, Taylor Stern, and then Lindsey Draper. So it's kind of an all-star cast of various programs that we have here on our platforms.
Those left behind.
Yeah, those left behind. Yes, it'll kind of be your Cowboy pregame show.
There you go.
That'd be great. Ups. Yeah.
So we bring that up to point out that this is our final preview on Talking Cowboys of the divisional playoffs. So we'll make our picks at the end of the show, our picks to click and so forth.
I'm better on that pick to click, by the way, guys.
Well,
What'd I do with Sean Lee? Why'd I do that? Because Sean Lee is only one of the better players that's ever lined up for this team, and all of a sudden, could Sean Lee be I'm sorry, Bill, I'm taking
No, go for it.
Could Sean Lee be an inactive?
I don't think so.
Man,
oh, boy, you both gave me that look like, Rob gave me that look like, oh, Brian, please.
Well,
could he be an inactive if you're trying to get guys if you're struggling with your receivers' health?
Okay.
And we've talked about this now.
I guess it's not impossible because he was inactive a couple weeks ago because of numbers.
Yeah.
But that was because he was only going to play a small handful of plays, although he only played 4 defensive snaps last week.
Was that the Tampa Bay game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So that was an important game.
Yeah, but the reason why he was your pick to click was he got 24 snaps against the Giants, was building back up.
No, and he had a great game against the Seahawks the first time. And I felt like, okay, here's an opportunity for him to kind of jump in there and be a part of this, but
I think
limited snaps by the defense overall.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and I think one of the things you look at too, and obviously with the injury issues on the offensive line, you've got to have you got to make sure you got enough personnel there, and the injury issues at wide receiver as well. But also, I think every week when you put your game day roster together, you have to anticipate what if so-and-so gets hurt. Even someone who's not nursing an injury. And so you want to have Sean Lee there in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't see it. A guy of that quality in a playoff game, even if you don't
thought that last week, Robert.
I know.
But I also think that just his mere presence on the sideline is impactful. He'd be there even if he's not suited out.
Yeah.
But I just think he has too much of an influence on this team, that as a leader on this team and so forth, that I think it would come down to, okay, we have to have these other guys available more so than him. It'd be a last straw, I think.
You trying to take Sean Lee's helmet away?
I was.
Saturday?
I was trying to figure out a way, Mickey, because we got into that yesterday about what's going to happen with these receivers, what's going to happen with the tight ends, what's going to happen with the offensive linemen. Can you afford to go into a game a little light at offensive line? Can you afford to go in, especially with what's going on with Cole Beasley? I don't think this team is out of the woods on that one yet. I really don't. And, I think that they need to, as a veteran player as is, and as much as, you could say, okay, well, he doesn't need practice reps. There might be something more there that we need to think about.
Well, but then there's an inactive.
Yeah.
Jarwin's an inactive.
Yeah.
You've got two guys on a rookie linebacker and a rookie defensive lineman inactive. That's 4 already. Quarterback's 5. So
David Irving is 6.
So I don't think it's really hard to get there. If those guys indeed, and it didn't sound good yesterday about Beasley and Jarwin.
If those indeed can't go.
Yeah.
All right. So give us an update off the top, because that's different than what we had yesterday. So during
those
Talkin'
guys,
Cowboys
those
yesterday.
2 guys did not practice again.
Yeah.
And it was starting to look like, okay, they're trying to get them to Saturday, right?
Right.
And then when they don't practice 2 days in a row, you're thinking yesterday at least limited, because today's kind of a lighter practice.
Right.
So, I think you start worrying about those 2, especially when the HA came out on Jarwin, high ankle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's concerning.
I think Beasley's going to be there.
I'm worried about him.
Mickey, I'm dancing with Mickey on this one.
Really? So did he do something again later in the game?
I think it's just been an ongoing thing.
Well, it was kind of the same thing, but it was different than what he dealt with earlier in the season and what he's still dealing with. That was more of the foot. This is more of the ankle. It's the same foot altogether. And I think it may be adding up on him, and this is – it's not a short week, but he didn't have the benefit of, if they played the Saints, another extra day to try to get ready. So we'll see. I mean, he's a guy I think could not practice this weekend.
There's no
and
question.
Be a game-time decision and go.
No question.
But it may take it all the way to game time.
It's kind of a foot ankle at this point. So, and
ankle.
The only good sign I saw yesterday, at least both of them were out there on the cords.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Good point.
So that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I think from my understanding, there's some worries internally.
Let me ask you guys this. And this is coming from our Periscope folks. If Lee doesn't dress and something happens to Van Der Esch, like we saw in the Giants game, would there be a riot?
No.
Do you think there would be a riot, a fan riot?
Well, Joe Thomas, get in there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of,
and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is okay. What if something happens to either one of those guys? You know?
And Jason did explain some of the Sean Lee decision with the 4 snaps. They had 22. I think I said this earlier in the week. They had 22 defensive snaps, some 3-and-outs, and the flow of the game didn't really dictate it for those 2 young linebackers to come out of the game. And then in the second half, they rolled with the young guys. But if he dresses, and I think he will, I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect more than 4 snaps. That was
I did too,
borderline,
Robert.
borderline
I did.
shocking.
I did too. And then, last week I'm acting like I'm some kind of expert here, sitting here talking on the radio and saying, "Oh, watch Sean Lee. Sean Lee's this. Sean Lee's this. Sean Lee's this." And then all of a sudden,
that's totally fair. He is Sean Lee. I mean, he is, and he is healthy. He's healthy enough to play. Yeah.
Is he?
Yes. I mean, he's.
Am I making too much of this? Am I making too much of what Sean Lee is now? Mickey?
In what respect? Like
am I saying don't throw dirt on Sean Lee? Is that right or wrong?
No,
You're not wrong at all.
Not wrong?
He could still play. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it comes to a point where you see it's rolling. Why change?
Yeah,
dramatically.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair.
And I think they need him. You would have to get a gun out to get his helmet away from him.
Well, and the other part of it goes
just
at the end of the end of the season is you also
that
want
way, but yeah,
even like the Tampa Bay game. Okay, they wanted to make sure that he's ready for the postseason. They're clinching that day,
right?
And they wanted to make sure. Well, it's the postseason. It's and
I thought that last week, Bill.
Yeah.
I thought,
well, he was there.
But Mickey's
he
right
was there,
though, too.
But the opportunity.
Mickey's right. The young guys are playing so well that you're like, if when you do take them off the field, it's noticeable.
We got some concrete proof about how well Leighton Vander Esch has played this season. He didn't make the Pro Bowl, but he got the higher honor to be an All-Pro. I mean, that is as big a compliment as you can get, and that shows what he's done.
Who votes on that,
all
by the
season
way?
Long.
Guys from the AP, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Skyler's voting on that?
I think he has a vote.
Good for him. If he got him elected, good for him.
So is that a higher honor if the media is voting for it?
It's considered a high. It's considered one.
Hall of Fame.
You know what? It may somewhat be a more knowledgeable one.
Yeah.
Think about the players that when the players.
I want the coaches to vote on one.
Well, they do have. It's a coach/player ballot, but then there's fans.
There's fans involved in that one though,
but not that. It's not
to that extent.
Pro Bowl matters, and it's legit.
You know where
obviously.
fans can help you in a voting? You know where fans with fantasy football? I think people watch, especially the skill guys. I mean, they watch these players.
Yeah, but there's too much bias.
You mean bias as far
for your guy?
As if you're a fantasy football follower?
Yeah. Even no.
Oh, how about Pittsburgh?
If you're voting,
How about those Pittsburgh writers? They line up.
If you're voting for the Pro Bowl, as I'm saying, you may be knowledgeable, but you're going to vote with.
Well, you're
I
also
feel
voting on strictly stats.
I kind of feel like that these fans watch these guys and know that San Diego. Why did I say San Diego? Chargers have got a pretty good receiver, Keenan Allen.
Maybe not watching the linemen as much.
Nah.
But but that goes for players too around the league. I don't think they're not studying line play.
PPF for that.
No. How about pro football?
PFP or whatever.
No. How about that,
PFF?
Mickey? They said that Tyron Smith was the best tackle in football.
Didn't give up a sack.
PFF did. Pro Football
sure did.
Focus.
Sure did.
Antoine Woods was not a fan of them the other day on Twitter.
No, he shouldn't be. But here
they had the top front sevens in the league, I think.
And then Dallas wasn't even the top 5.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem accurate.
Yeah. There were some teams. I mean,
Don't get me started.
No, that's what I'm saying though. But what do you say? But dude, what do you say when an organization comes out and says Tyron Smith's the best tackle in the league? Are you going to disagree with them?
Or when they said,
or are you going to agree with them and say, "Wow, maybe they got one right here"?
Or when they said Byron Jones was the best corner in the league about midseason. So maybe they're 50-50, Maybe it's Mr. 50-50. It's not too bad.
Bill, what's wrong with Byron Jones?
We had Everson Walls on our Cowboys Insider show.
Oh, this ought to be interesting.
And he's not concerned, at least publicly, about Byron Jones. He was critical of him at the end of the game, the Seattle game. He didn't know what he was doing at the end of that game.
We need to figure that one out ourselves.
But. Yeah. Did you ever
I
didn't.
That's dropped the ball there. I need to get that one taken.
But he was looking at it like you just can't let a guy run down the field like what Byron did. He was critical of Byron's.
Has it been one play though, Mickey? Has it been one play? Are we starting to see some cracks?
Well,
I know that not every corner can. I know they throw for 500 yards in this game. I get it.
The two guys from the Rams have 1,200 yards receiving.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean every corner in the
There's
league
no question.
And they had another one who was on pace for 1,200 yards. He got hurt.
Exactly. I'm about to say, thank God he got hurt.
It's the league. It's the league.
He's had a really good year.
I mean, the big thing with Everson, Everson intercepted passes in his sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when
That's
he sees the guy making the Pro Bowl without any picks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be.
But the league is different now than what it was when Everson played, too. There aren't interceptions across the league like there were in the 80s. So,
talking about the human log again on.
He's getting some airtime
Monday
this
morning.
week, man.
Welcome to the party, folks. Yeah. It's only been 17 weeks of the human log. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, but see, everybody's late to the party.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Welcome to the party.
Mickey was grumbling about this in the locker room yesterday.
It's like all of a sudden, look at this
Everybody's
guy,
talking
Antoine Woods.
Everybody's talking to the human log?
He doesn't like the L.A. folks coming out here and asking Antoine Woods questions because we've been doing it for.
And of course, him being an
that's
SC
where he's
guy.
from.
But it's a big story.
Yeah.
So that's why he's getting a lot of play.
If they were really
Going
doing
back
their
to
job, they would have noticed him like we did in training camp.
That's
They
right.
were right down the road. They wouldn't even have to take a plane ride to Dallas to talk to him. They could have just gone up the Ventura Freeway.
I was saying, who's the idiot fighting Travis Frederick there? That's what I was saying. Who's that idiot?
I'm telling you. Jerry Jones.
He was
you're
on
right.
Top of you were right. You were right.
Day when I was talking to Clancy Pendergrass.
Yeah.
And he comes walking by and Clancy said hi to him and I said, "Who's that guy?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "That's my guy." And I go, what do you mean it's your guy? He goes, he's Southern Cal. I love him. He goes, this guy can play. I don't know what happened in Tennessee.
What happened in Tennessee? I mean,
let me tell you what. Hey, we all put on we have the 2 stupid pills and a cup of Gatorade. We tell you that all the time.
I mean, he was
you mean the
back
2
and
stupid
forth.
pills? Yeah.
now, he was waived injured in Tennessee.
Yeah, and that kind of tells you that they wanted to maybe keep him around, and then they got rid of him after they got the injury settlement, right?
Yeah, because it was May. It was late May when he signed.
Right.
Sometimes you just need to go to the right coach. Yeah. Sometimes you need
the right system.
The right system. You need Rod Marinelli.
Play a 3-4. I don't know.
Yes, they do.
But
he fits none of
not
that.
a fit. Yeah.
He is a perfect Rod Marinelli player. Just motor up the field.
See, this is why for the draft show, when we start talking about one techniques, this is why we should never talk about a one technique being drafted high here, because he will go find a human log.
Sure,
he will. He'll go find Antoine Woods, and he'll go, and that'll be his, and that'll be what Rod Marinelli and Chris Richard will say. We don't need to draft a Vita Vea. We just need Antoine Woods.
Or who was the guy in the Frederick draft where they passed? Everybody thought they should have picked him.
Oh, the guy in Minnesota.
Sharif Floyd.
Floyd.
Yeah.
And the fifth
He was
pick
more
in
of
the
a
draft.
3. Yeah, exactly.
So Jerry sees him and he goes, "Hey, I see you out there. Don't let up."
Yeah.
And Woods goes, "I don't know what that means." And I'm going, "Ooh, that's pretty bold to tell the owner you've never talked to before."
Yeah.
So the next day I said, "Well, I got to go talk to this guy." And this was before the fight. And it might have been the I can't remember which was first, the fight or the goal line. When they put him on the goal line,
the fight.
The fight was first because it got him the goal line reps.
Right. And he did the worm crawl and he made the tackle, and I asked him about that. So we were talking, and I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm keeping an eye on you." And he turns around as he's walking off, looks at me, and he goes, "Don't blink." And I'm going, "Oh, this guy's pretty cocky for somebody I thought was a camp body." And then, lo and behold, we've got T-shirts now. Don't blink.
That's his motto, man. He lives by it.
Yeah.
But the thing about him is he started as a true freshman at USC.
Tells you a lot
out
about
of high
the
school.
kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At that position, especially at that level.
Yeah. Oh no, USC's had some defensive linemen. Just go through the history of that.
And
bunch.
he's kind of inner city LA, right?
He is he's Woodland Hills, Taft High
Hills?
School, Woodland Hills.
Okay.
Can't say I know much about Woodland.
At Woodland, Taft High is known to produce some athletes out of that.
I recognize that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So, but that's when I looked at his bio in the preseason and I saw that, I said, and that's where and having seen him stand up to and challenge Pro Bowl offensive linemen, I'm like, okay, this guy's got something.
No, he's an idiot. Is what you were saying.
He's just enough off center to play nose tackle,
but he also had enough ability as a teenager to start at USC.
I think that's impressive right there. That's impressive. Yeah.
Okay, so but Jarwin, you think is not looking good?
I'm worried about
that. And that was late in the game that he got hurt.
Yeah. Just kind of hearing some things on Jarwin, and it sounds like a very significant injury, like Mickey was talking about with the high ankle. But just kind of visiting with some folks, they feel like that Jarwin's going to talk himself into playing in this game, that he's going to find a way to saddle up, and when they get to the warm-ups and stuff, that, tape it up, do what you have to do, treat it, whatever, and I'm going to go play. And that's kind of and I think that's the most positive thing you could say about a young guy right there, that he realizes how important this is. I think Cole Beasley understands how important this is too, but we'll see if his injury keeps him from playing.
Now, at least with Beasley, Tavon Austin looks like I talked to him yesterday. He said, "I'm getting better and better."
Yeah.
But you got somebody you can put in the slot there that kind of plays that position.
Cooper can play in the slot too.
And Cooper can go in the slot also, but then somebody's got to play outside.
Yeah.
From the tight end standpoint,
it's hard.
I'm sure that's why Jarwin's looking at it and saying, "I got to help those guys out. They're down to 2 tight ends.
Well,
then what do you do?
Can Witten be ready by tomorrow night?
Will he?
Sure, he could.
Will he clear waivers?
Saturday night?
Will he clear waivers?
Let me ask you this though: if the playoff teams left, if Dallas were to try, if they put him through waivers, who's left is Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got a worse record than Dallas, right? As far as the playoff teams that are left.
The only one.
Yeah, so they would be the only team that could maybe.
Oh, well, okay.
You'll see if somebody else would put in a claim.
Would he really have to go through waivers?
Yeah, he really would.
All right, okay. Let's say
You don't just activate him off.
No.
Let's say the Saints beat the Eagles.
Yeah,
The Cowboys beat the Rams.
right.
Cowboys,
Well,
obviously. I mean, how many tight ends Cowboys have on their roster right now?
3.
Three.
If okay, with minus Jarwin.
2.
That's right.
And they have a emergency. They have a tackle that plays as their 13th personnel
Right.
guy. Yeah.
So
Noah
for
Brown.
the NFC Championship game next week, there would
Well,
be
wait
nothing.
a minute. Don't the other teams get to participate in the waivers?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Not just the teams that are playing.
Right, but
No. When
They
you're out,
can't?
you're out.
So who would have
Well,
first
you
claim?
you could claim them for the future.
So if the Eagles get beat, who would have first claim?
If the Eagles got beat, Dallas is the one putting him on waivers.
Yeah.
But somebody
everyone
else.
So then it would,
claim
the Colts. Say the Colts got through. You know?
Yeah.
The Colts have a
Would
worse
anyone
record. But Colts
claim
beat you. Would anybody claim him? That's the question.
No one's going to claim.
No one's going to claim him because they know he's not playing for anyone but the Cowboys.
Would Sean Payton claim him in an NFC championship?
but he wouldn't play for
keep him from Dallas.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you
definitely.
would keep
No
him
doubt
from
he
having
would.
to play against
No
them.
doubt he would.
Absolutely.
Sean Payton
So
ran
you're
in
saying
$200,000. By the way, he took our idea. I think you guys talked about that, rolling the trophy in there with cash. Who did that? Sean Payton did that yesterday.
That is such a Sean Payton.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He rolled the Super Bowl trophy in $227,000
of
cash.
in their locker room. Just
Yes.
like what we were
And he
talking
goes-
about.
We
He goes-
talked about this.
He's listening to Talkin Cowboys.
yeah,
He goes,
He
"You want-"
is. Well, he really is.
He goes,
he does.
You want this?
Yeah.
3 blanking games.
Yeah, win 3 blanket
get it.
games. Yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a
love
big
it.
deal yesterday. Yep.
everybody's on the things. Can we stop this nonsense? Okay, we got it. We'll stop the nonsense. If you just seen Jason Garrett, he was kind of like he was going with the nonsense.
Oh, let me. Well, we're up against a break, but I'll just bring it up anyway.
Yeah.
Did Jason Witten, when he retired, think that this team had a chance to go one win away from going to a NFC?
Well, he
championship?
thought that 2 years ago when they had a rookie quarterback and a rookie runner. And I think he probably thought that was his best chance.
Maybe not.
No,
Maybe
I
not.
wouldn't
Maybe
say
not. But at the same
not
time,
after he broadcast
if
that
he
Tennessee
thought-
loss.
You think if he thought this team had a real chance to go to the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl, would he have retired?
maybe not. But at the same time, he might have looked at it and said, all right, they're offering me this. This is a great gig, and I may just play one more year anyway. Why don't I just take it?
Is his
you know?
TV season over?
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
All right.
It's over.
And that's why this
It's over Monday.
Yeah.
We're working on 5 minutes on this hypothetical.
No, but I just bring that up in context with how the expectations for this team, the real expectations for this team coming into this season, what were they and where they are right now?
They were going to fight to make the playoffs. I think everybody thought they were going to be competitive. But this thing flipped when they made a trade after he called that Tennessee game, too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a pretty key player that was not on the roster when he bowed out.
Because where were they at wide receiver at the time that he made his decision? They had just released Des Bryant, and they had not replaced him.
Yeah.
Right.
So, anyway.
Well, call him. Text
All right.
him right now.
All right.
Do you believe that they didn't reach out to him this year?
No, because he still had to clear waivers.
You say you do or do not believe that they reached out to him?
I don't believe
Remember that report that they
Okay,
reached
you
out
said
to him?
Oh, yeah, Ken.
Yeah.
I said no, I
Right.
don't believe it. Because they still had to clear waivers.
There's guys doing radio that said they did.
You know, what was he probably thinking? He was at the Saints game just to watch the
Right, he
game.
was.
What was he probably thinking sitting in that suite watching them win that game? You know, he's probably like, man, this could be it. You know,
They had it tied in. They'd have scored more than 13
Yeah.
points.
All right, we ponder that. We take your phone calls at 888-855-2297. That's 888-8 Jack Del Rio, Bob Hayes, Leroy Glover when we come back.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. Surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean, fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Tommy John time. In football, often the quickest plays mixed with some good old-fashioned ingenuity are the key to winning. Kind of like Tommy John's horizontal quick draw fly. It's the most intuitive, simple, and speedy feature that other underwear brands just don't have. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
No comments?
What do you got there, Bill?
I've got, you want to go boxing, DCC prep classes, or the Star District?
Go boxing. They want us to go boxing.
Okay, we're going boxing. IBF welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr. is set to defend his title against 4-division world champion and current WBC lightweight champion Mikey Garcia on March 16th at AT&T Stadium. You won't want to miss this highly anticipated blockbuster showdown. Tickets on sale now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticket provider of AT&T Stadium. And Rob Phillips says Mikey Garcia is a worthy opponent.
Could have been a contender.
And listening to Victor do the promo for that, it's Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
No R.
You going to go?
Yeah, one way or another, either getting a press pass or buying a ticket.
I'll go with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I want to see Mickey as a judge, like leaning on the, like how they lean on the ring and they kind of look up,
Got a little scorecard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only done that.
Mickey Spagnola scores the event.
It was a small
126 to 124.
Small-time fight in Kansas City, and the press credential was right on the apron.
Jack Johnson
of the
bare knuckles
of the ring.
There it is.
Johnson.
All I know is at one point there was blood spattered on my notebook.
Yeah.
Did you go? Come
That's
on.
how close you were.
So did they use boxing gloves?
And he had to ride around
boxing gloves.
Those big letters.
Big letters around the blood.
It's like, what are they doing?
Blood.
It was a pretty good fight, by the way.
And he put it in his back pocket. He didn't care. He just folded it up, put it in his back pocket, blood and all. He didn't care.
It was a guy from Kansas City, and he was fighting
Jerry Quarry.
No,
somebody bleeds.
He was fighting the nephew of. Well, you know what? It was the same type of fighter.
Oh,
yeah, a guy that just took all the punches and just kept coming forward.
Oh, you recognize Jerry Corey's name when I said it, right?
Like Chavallo, remember him?
Oh yeah.
All he did was take punches and kept coming
Kelly
forward.
Chavallo,
Right?
Yeah, Kojak.
This show is all about naming names that I have no idea.
Kojak,
Mo Claiborne or Orlando Scandrick.
I know. Got those.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Remember, he was fighting the nephew of a really good fighter. I can't remember who it was. He was
Y'all ready to
there,
go to
too.
a phone call?
I am
Clubber
ready.
Lang.
Probably get us back on track.
Clubber Lang. Drago?
Let's go to Josh in North Carolina. You're next up on Talking Cowboys. Josh.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
How we doing?
Good.
Good. All right, guys, I got a question for you. I know since he was incepted into this league, I have been a Dak fan from the beginning. But my question to you guys is, do you think that it's going to take an NFC championship win to maybe, take some of the pressure of the haters on Dak?
Well, I would think he probably needs to win the Super Bowl, because if he loses the NFC title game, then it'll be I told you so. And the good thing is there's no pressure on him from what he hears from fans. But people don't change their minds.
Watching, Dak's intangibles. I mean, he is such a good person, and I would love to see him really go and just win it all, because I feel that with the way that he carries this team, I think he deserves it.
I think even now the narrative has stopped about being Mickey. I understand where you're going with that, but I think fans respect him now.
Yeah, I do too, but I think it's one loss, and we'll hear it again.
Yeah, but that's to me. I think there's going to be far less of that in the end of the season than what we've heard. I mean, the team was 3-5 and not doing well, or last year when it was in the middle of the run and he wasn't playing well. I think the national narrative is changed on Dak Prescott. I think there's more respect there. I really, really do. I don't know how you can evaluate the way he plays and not respect that.
Well,
if you are, then you're looking for clicks or to move the meter the other way to piss people off.
So one paragraph in my column for Friday that's already been written will point out that if you're still watching stuff on television,
sure.
And nothing against people who tell us straight.
Yeah.
But you can find anything on film.
There's no question
to support your narrative.
Yeah, no question.
And
no question.
If I hear one more time, look at this this receiver. He's wide open. Right. Circle him.
Right.
And he threw it over here.
Right.
So does that happen to any other quarterback? But because the narrative on him is he doesn't see the field, they go find a play out of 60 and say, okay, see, there's my point.
You could have killed Drew Brees in the Dallas game. Sure. You could have absolutely murdered him. The eye level, mechanics, everything you want to murder a quarterback on, you could have.
I think Bill said it on our show a couple weeks ago. Fans and us too, we don't watch everything every quarterback in this league does. We don't see every flaw for every 60 play game. And so this is our quarterback in our city, so we dissect it. And it's never perfect. That position can't ever be perfect, because you need a confluence of help around you.
Yeah.
And I think one reason he's earned, I agree with you. He's earned respect. The narrative especially on social media has changed.
It absolutely has.
And that's a hard thing to change, by the way.
Yeah.
As negative as that place can be, but he's doing it without that perfect offensive line that we've seen him have like 2 years ago. And that's part of the narrative leading up was, well, it's got to be all perfect around him. It hasn't been all perfect around him. And what he does, particularly late in games, I think that earns respect from fans more than anything. If you're clutch, fans respect that as much as any other trait that a quarterback can have.
What about if you just win?
Well, that too, but doing things in big moments to get wins is huge from the quarterback position.
Well,
Phillip Rivers, to me, is not a perfect quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'll take Phillip Rivers all day, because I think he plays on a tremendous amount of guts.
Mm-hmm.
If you
that
give
Kansas
me
City game was great.
Yeah, give me a quarterback that is just a gut player, you know, and I'll overlook a lot of the things that Mickey was talking about. I can't see this or can't do that, you know.
I bet if you went back and analyzed mechanics, Roger Staubach,
awful,
No doubt.
right?
Awful.
No doubt.
Awful.
There's a lot of similarities there.
Awful.
But he figured out how to win.
He won.
Yeah, had a really nice team around him too.
But Mick,
that won.
you're right too in that in this organization, this fans of this franchise, that's the bar. He's probably always going to have a segment that doesn't believe until he wins a Super Bowl. Whether that's fair or not,
their guy Romo didn't win one.
There you go, and I don't.
That makes him no less of a quarterback in my eyes.
I know, but people still, it was a polarizing figure.
He was polarizing till the day he left.
The only quarterback in this team's history that wasn't polarizing through his entire career was Staubach, because they turned on Aikman at the end.
Yeah.
They turned on Meredith, right? They turned on Danny White. They turned on Romo. It's just amazing how that happens with quarterbacks. The only one that escaped was Staubach.
The fan base turned on him.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay.
The only one that escaped that was Staubach, and maybe good for him. He retired.
He retired after
soon
10
enough.
years. Yeah, he played 10 years. That's all he played.
And he got such a late start on his career.
Yeah.
You know, and so he was 34, 35 when he retired, whatever age he was. And so he didn't have that downturn that happened with the team when Aikman was here.
Yeah.
The team was still good.
And if you think about it, you know, everybody brings up Terrell Owens and the star and what he did and how disgraceful, and that was embarrassing. No, the embarrassing thing was people were booing Troy Aikman in that game. That very game, they were booing him after everything he did. Same thing with Meredith. You know, can't win a big one. They got to get rid of this guy, you know? And then they were fortunate that Staubach was sitting there in the wings.
Well, and then it took 3 years before they
for Tom to figure it out, right?
Because they had Greg Morton sitting in the wings too. Yeah, so
I just kind of feel like there's been a turn.
Yeah, I agree.
I respect what you're saying, Mickey, but I think there's been a turn on this quarterback,
and the turn has come this week.
I think the
Russell
turn.
Wilson and the Seahawks.
I think the turn has come through the last 9 weeks.
Okay.
You know, if you think about half this guy's victories are come from behind victories.
Well, I think
what a better measuring stick than that.
No better measuring stick.
I mean, if you're talking about being clutch and winning games, that's Staubach made a 10-year career of being clutch.
And the ironic part is one of the big turning points, I think, was Week 17 in that quote-unquote meaningless game where he put it on his shoulders. Didn't have Zeke, didn't have starting offensive linemen. He ran the show.
Yeah.
And clutch. You know,
you realize they've won 11 games this year and only won by more than one possession, by more than 8 points. Only one.
Jacksonville?
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's just this guy's played. The pressure on him every week to perform is huge.
It's
immense.
It's almost like he embraces it.
Sure he does.
It's almost like he's smiling through it.
Yeah.
He went through it in college at Mississippi State. Do you think there wasn't
told
pressure
you the
on
story.
him there?
Where are all the first round picks? Where are all the first round picks and second round picks that got this Mississippi State team to the number one team in the country?
After they started 4-5 that season, that previous season, and then
he won 12 straight
games to the point they were the number one team in the country midway through the next season. And this season they start 3-5, and they had 12 games left to win the Super Bowl. Well, they did stub their toe once, but they've won now 8 out of 9 on the way to Atlanta.
I think the problem with this day and age is with the social media and stuff and people having opinions and stuff that they get too dug in on their opinion. I accuse those guys on the radio station on 105.3 that we do work for. I say, you guys are too dug in to admit you're wrong. Mm-hmm. You're way too dug in. You've had show after show after show bashing this guy. And now when you see a little bit of light, you're afraid to admit that you were wrong.
And so they avoid the subject. They don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Not to rain on your 12-game parade, but I noticed when I was going through the playoff history of the Cowboys they've never won 3 consecutive playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. Never had to.
Yeah, because they had a first-round bye.
Usually. Yeah. But they've never gone wild card division.
Why does that rain on my parade?
Because you said they were going to win 12 straight. I said if they do, then they're going to do something they've never done.
If you look at the history of these teams, though, how they've
it's hard to win 3 straight.
It's hard to win 3 straight, but the great thing about it is there's teams that have done it, and those were teams again that were battle tested throughout the year.
Baltimore, the Giants.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
And how about that Giants year? How big was the last regular season game that year? Wasn't it against the Patriots?
Yeah.
Where they beat the Patriots?
Well, yeah.
No, they came close.
They came close.
But it gave them confidence that they could do it. They could play
like
with them.
The Dak last game this year against the Giants, from a personal standpoint, probably gave him confidence and the team around them that, and which goes right to your point that it wasn't a meaningless game.
Not at all.
Not at all. It wasn't a meaningless game for the Giants that year.
No, none of these. That's what I'm saying. These, like I always say, must win, and I get laughed at, but they are. They really are, because you only play 16. And hey, I'd been sick if they would have lost somebody at the end. I'd admit it. I'd been sick if Van Der Esch couldn't have played anymore, Dak couldn't have played, but to them it was important. And, God bless them. They got it done.
And it doesn't matter, as it relates to this game Saturday night, it doesn't matter on paper how much money you've spent on certain defensive players, whatever, any of that stuff. It's who plays the best game on Saturday night.
If you tell me, if you ask me, and I'm not just saying this because I work for this team, but if you said which quarterback out there has the most guts, your quarterback here has the most guts than that guy in Los Angeles. If it comes down to having to convert a 3rd and 15, your guy's got guts. I don't know if their guy has guts. I don't see it in him. So if it turns into a tight game, give me the guy with the guts.
Took a helmet to the knee or thigh trying to make that play.
Give me that guy.
Making that play last
Give me
Saturday.
that guy, because everybody around him, the other 45 players, are going to do everything they can to make sure that guy walks off the field a winner. Trust me. That's going to be the difference.
All right, we take more of your phone calls. We make our picks when we come back on Talkin' Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yep, and now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yep, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper soft coolers at otterbox.com.
While a player could look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Hey, it's the playoffs. That means you got to get your face right. And to get your face right, you got to get some Jack Black. And the easiest way to do it is go to getjackblack.com and use the code Cowboys and get you that Playmaker. You get 4 of the JB faves, and you will decide after using those small tubes of product that you're going to order the large size turbo wash, the beard lube, the face cleanser, all those things you will want. So go to jackblack.com and use the code Cowboys.
That's so much rhythm to that read. When they're
yeah, it's like morning traffic.
Is it like we're rowing? I'm tired of rowing. Now I'm going to row again.
Row, row, row.
I'm going to challenge you guys to ad-lib the whole thing.
You know what?
I don't have any of these things.
Let me tell you what I had to do for you the other day, but
What?
you came back and fixed it. Cowboys this morning, talk by yourself for 1:45 straight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you didn't have anybody join you?
No. I pulled one of your numbers. It's like they mic'd me up and they said, okay, talk 1:45 about it. And that is not easy to do, to talk 1:45
on
straight.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
clean.
tape.
Like you don't get a
yeah.
do-over.
They cover you up with video at all?
Oh, they try.
Yeah.
There's
They
not
say
enough.
they do,
Yeah,
but
there's-
you don't know when you're
Yeah.
on and when you're not.
Yeah, it's
because
like
they put that up later.
Yeah, but talking 1:45 straight by yourself is not easy to do. Mickey, I admire you for doing that. And the Jack Black read, that was 1:45 of straight talking.
It sure felt like it.
It was 20 seconds.
Was it? Felt like 1:45.
I don't know.
If you're not a professional broadcaster, 1:45.
It's time
especially
for
if you
Mickey's
haven't
Minute.
memorized the stats you want to use. And it always feels uncomfortable. I don't know how you get used to it.
Well, the key
when you're
is-
not looking at the camera, like you're looking down at your notes and you lose track of the camera, and it's like, oh, I got to look at the camera.
Yeah.
The key is bullet points.
Yeah.
Is you don't memorize what you're saying or anything. You
Yeah.
just have certain things that you want to hit on.
Right.
You know, you got 3 different points that you want to make.
Yeah.
And
I did it in 2 takes, and I did it because the only reason I got to the very end of it, and I said something about because we didn't know who they were going to play in the playoffs, and I said, "Well, in the playoffs," and I went, "Oh, playoffs! We don't know who they're going to play."
And then,
But can't they just splice in?
Nah, they made me do
can't.
the whole thing
Yeah,
over
you
again.
got to do the whole thing over.
You know what? At 1:35, and I was almost home free, and I said something about the playoffs, and Caden looked at me and goes, shook his head. And
so the pressure builds in the final 30 seconds because if you screw up, that beautiful,
yes,
you'll never
eloquent,
you'll never ever go back.
speech you
and
gave for the last minute 30.
Never.
If you screw up in the last 15 seconds, you got to do it all over.
Never do it right.
And plus, you've got somebody behind the camera frantically
waving their hands.
You got to finish, right? And then you look at that and you forget what you're talking about,
Yeah.
or somebody's in your ear. I don't know how you ever got used to that.
Stage managers can kill you.
The key is also not is not knowing or not is pretending that you're not on television.
Right.
You're just talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Turn that camera into a person. I mean, the greatest one I saw in Cowboys training camp in Thousand Oaks was Vern Lundquist.
Oh gosh.
You know, Vern, he would do his stand up, you know, right by the practice field, whatever. And he was so relaxed when he talked. It was just like he was just talking to his cameraman. He wasn't talking to thousands of people on Channel 8, you know, at the time.
It took me so long. I mean, I was never trained, right? Never. And just started doing it. And I was doing it for Channel 4 in 91 and after the games, right? Home games, I had Ted Dawson with me. Road games.
So you'd look good.
Yeah.
As compared to Ted.
I'll let you say that. On the road games, I would go to another station in where the game was, and they would set up a camera, and then they would leave. And at least if there's a cameraman there, you're kind of talking to the cameraman, right? They would just put up the camera and just, okay, well, when they say go, go. And it was like, oh, my God, I'm not talking to anybody.
How's Periscope doing?
They're hating us right now because they've got to go to meetings and they want our picks.
Oh.
Meetings?
Well, we got a call we need to go to first.
Go to a call first.
Go to Freddie in Virginia. Freddie, you better make it quick for the Periscope viewers.
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
My question is, I'm excited and I'm nervous about this game, but what are your thoughts about the Cowboys approaching this game the way they played the Saints? And I'll listen to your comments off air.
Great, Freddie.
High-powered offense. How do you approach that game? Play some dime, Mickey, try and figure out a way to stop some of these tight ends from running around.
I don't know that they went into the Saints game and said, we're going to win this 13-10.
No.
It just kind of turned out that way.
It turned out that way.
But if you can play defense the way they did in that game, if you can put pressure on the opposing quarterback the way they put on Drew Brees, then you give yourself a chance to win.
They tackled really well in that game, too.
I just don't know that you go in and think, okay, we're going to just play it real cozy and just score 13 points and beat them.
Yeah.
I think in this game, you're going to have to score.
Every time we felt like the Cowboys have had to kind of control a high-powered offense, they've done a pretty good job, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah.
I mean, we can hang our hat on that, right? Atlanta, Saints. Who else they played that has been just that freaking can light you up? Anybody else?
I mean, Philly's got some weapons.
Philly's got some weapons. They could light you up with the tight end play, the receivers down the field.
They scored 20 and 23 against the Cowboys.
Yeah. This team's been all right against those teams that could throw the ball around and run and stuff.
Just got to get after them.
Yeah. That's where I think the key of this game is going to be.
Right? Those guys asked me that today. How are you going to deal with Woods and Cooks? And I said, get after Goff.
Yeah,
there's a reason why they caught 1,200 yards worth of passes.
I like the matchup. I mean, read matchups today. I think it's going up. Dave's probably got it up for me now, but I like the Marcus Lawrence rushing in this game. I do. I think after watching the way the Rams had to play defense play offense against the Eagles and the Bears, I think the Cowboys can rush the passer just as well as those teams. From the inside and from the outside. I think the blitzes are going to be a factor in this game for these guys. They better, but the blitzes are going to be a factor for you too. You better be able to pick up. There's going to be a lot of twist stunts. After they saw the Cowboys give up that twist stunt sack in the game the other day, trust me, Wade Phillips is going to twist that front a bunch.
Pass protection's probably
both teams.
Probably the biggest key for both teams.
Both teams.
And this is probably the most talented. I mean, it's a bunch of first-round picks on their defensive line.
Yeah.
So,
Castaway.
Yeah.
A couple Castaway guys.
But
Fowler.
Also product of all those picks that they got with, in the Fisher era.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they got to contend with Woods, but they got to contend with Antoine Woods. And that middle rush has been huge for the Cowboys.
This quarterback doesn't run around.
Right.
This guy doesn't escape. Get to him, finish him, get him on the ground. This isn't Russell Wilson or Marcus Mariota this is Matt Ryan kind of guy. It's going to run just a little bit on you, but you got to find a way to tackle him. He'll crumple, I don't know if he crumples like Eli Manning crumples, but he'll crumple, and you can affect it. The Bears affected the way he threw the ball by pressure.
Yeah.
Yep.
When he can set his
feet. He had a hard time blocking.
What was the score in that game?
He had a hard time blocking Khalil Mack.
When he can set his feet, he can make he can drop some dimes now. He can be really, really accurate. But, you got to knock him off the
15-6,
spot.
wasn't it? Bears?
Yeah, it was
15-6, something like that.
6.
Yeah. I mean, the Bears, and by the way, the Bears quarterback played like a bag of what. I mean, he could have played better that game. They could have scored more points.
I suggest the Cowboys try to go that route to beat them, not the route the Saints did.
Yeah.
45-35.
People are asking about Suafield. It's Connor Williams. Don't you guys think Connor Williams in this game?
What it sounds
yes.
like.
Yeah, I think it's Connor Williams, guys.
Yeah.
If you're listening on Periscope or whatever, however you're listening to us, I think it's Connor Williams in this game.
Let's go around the horn. Who wants to go first on your picks?
I'll go first.
Rob Phillips goes first.
Just what we talked about. Who can protect their quarterback better? I think the Cowboys have a chance to get to Goff. We've seen teams do it. I think this is going to be a pretty low-scoring game. But I'm going to take the quarterback that has been probably more battle-tested and more clutch in clutch situations. And I'm going to say Dak and the Cowboys win this one on the road, something like 20-17.
20-17 Cowboys, and your pick to click.
I'm going to go with Tavon Austin for what we just talked about. You know, a guy that
revenge.
Not just that. I mean, they very well are going to need him in this game as a punt returner, maybe as a slot receiver. It just kind of has unfolded that, you know, he may have a bigger role than he ever could have imagined about a month ago.
The guy with the more guts wins this game, and that's the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to find a way. I said last week about guys making one more play than the other guy, and, you know, it kind of comes down to that. I think Rob's absolutely right about the pass protection. I think if the Cowboys can hold up, I think the one great advantage that the Cowboys have, and the Rams, you know, can counter this as well. But, you know, with their ability to run the football, but Dallas's ability to run the ball, I think, is going to be key in this game. And I think they're going to be able to control it. I think they're going to be able to finish some drives here. I think a lot of it's going to be able to finish drives because of your quarterback and the way he plays. I'm going to say that the Cowboys find a way to hold the Rams in check, much like the Eagles and the Bears did. This game is going 27-20 Cowboys.
27-20 Cowboys.
All right, you better listen up now because 2 of the last 3 games have been hot on these picks.
Okay.
Right?
All right. It took us 17 weeks, but we're there.
One was perfect, and last week I had 23-21, and it was 24-22.
Garbage touchdown there late helped you, but go ahead. Backdoor cover. Backdoor cover.
So did losing the kicker and having to go for 2.
Backdoor cover. Here we go.
Just got one too many. Cowboys 26-24.
Another 2-point win.
And my pick to click is going to be Sackman, Randy Gregory.
Ooh, Sackman. Is that his nickname?
Gregory.
Is that what you call him, Sackman?
I saw him yesterday when he was walking by in the hallway, and I said, "Hey, there's Sackman." He goes, "No.
There's Sackman."
You never heard of that?
No.
Sackman Carruthers.
Yeah.
The actor?
The actor.
I mean, what else is new?
So what did
he just kind of shook his head.
Yeah.
I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, No.
You know, I heard you say yesterday that the Rams may not be aware of how quick Randy Gregory is.
He needs a boost of confidence.
You think the Rams are aware how quick Randy Gregory is?
I think they know.
But they can't simulate it.
Okay. All right.
Once you get on the field.
Yeah. They got some rushers. They can practice against.
They're pretty good, too.
But they don't practice against them.
Yeah, we hope not.
I mean, that's like all these people talking about, well, you better prepare to face Gurley because you have to face Ezekiel Elliott every day in practice.
It's kind of like,
no, they don't face Ezekiel Elliott.
It's kind of like Ross being, Aaron Donald this week, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'm going, you recall the last time the Cowboys...
This is going to be a history lesson. Get ready.
You recall the last time the Cowboys won a road playoff game?
Yes, I do.
That would
30-20.
be January 17th, 1993.
I was there.
What was the score of that
20-20 game in the fourth quarter, and what happened? Troy Aikman hit Alvin Harper on a slant. He went 70 yards down inside the 10-yard line, and Emmitt Smith capped the win. It was a 30-20 Cowboys win over the 49ers, propelling America's team to Super Bowl 27. Well, this week, it will be a 20-20 game in the fourth quarter. Dak Prescott hits Michael Gallup on a slant 70 yards inside the 10-yard line, and Zeke Elliott finishes off the Rams. 30-20 is your final score.
There you go.
Okay, so
that was a great history.
I hate to correct your history.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, okay.
It was 24-20, and Kelvin Martin scored the touchdown.
Oh, that's true, but forget it.
All right, don't worry about it.
This is what I remember. This is my...
That's what happens with revisionist history.
There you go.
But Michael Gallup is my pick to click.
All right.
Yeah.
And I just suggest they don't miss the extra point like the Cowboys went for 2 to put the game away, if you remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We got 1 minute.
The Riverboat Gamblers.
1 minute. Who wins between Indianapolis and Kansas City?
God, give me the Colts.
Yeah. I like it.
That's the early game Saturday.
Give me the Colts.
Colts around the board. Okay, we got Cowboys winning. Okay, early game Sunday, Chargers, Patriots.
Give me the Pats at home. Hard to beat. Even though Chargers are playing well. Give me the
They're
Pats.
playing awfully well.
It's going to be about 21 degrees or something like that. Chargers are not going to be able to handle that.
I'm going Patriots.
Okay,
oh, geez, Mickey. Make a decision.
I'll take the Chargers.
Oh, there we go.
And then
the Bolts.
Then the late game on Sunday, the Eagles at the Saints.
Saints.
Eagles.
All right.
NFC Championship game here
There it
next
is.
week.
And then we get another history lesson. When the last time we hosted a championship game? Was it Green Bay?
That's pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah, here we go.
23 years ago. And that history lesson comes next week here on Talkin' Cowboys. Enjoy the game and all of the preview of the game coming up in the next 48 hours here on DallasCowboys.com.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?